Hello, it's Tad Walker here, and as you can see I've got a new video camera, which is pretty cool. I traded it with my friend Chris Foster for a copy of Munchkin Deluxe. Today, a drink that I got as part of the random purchase from my other friend Billy Giroux in the sporting event Tad Olympics. Carabao Dang, which I looked up and it translates to red bison, which is good because it sounds like M bison. After a bit of research, I found out that it's basically just like a Red Bull clone, or more to the point, a clone of Thai Red Bull, which is a clone of Red Bull. Now, Billy said what made it appealing to him was that it actually looks like a bottle of medicine. Yeah, this is 3 times smaller, rounded down, than a Monster. It's got about the same amount, if not slightly higher, of caffeine. Interestingly enough, it's time to give it a huff. I'm gonna smell it. Now, as soon as I took the cap off, I can instantly smell that sort of Red Bull from like about here. But as you got closer and I had that inhalation, there's Red Bull there, but with this other sort of almost a floral. I'm no botanist, so I couldn't tell you what those sort of flowers are, and I couldn't read you the instructions because it looks like when you need to piss, and you know it's just that little bit more orange than it should be. Straight away, what's come into my mind here is Parma Violets. I will point out that number one, it's not fizzy, it's a flat energy drink, which adds to the mysteriousness of it. It tastes really, really sugary, but not that grainy sort of sugar, that really like smoothed out, almost syrupy sort of sugar. Sweet, but powdery. It looks like it's made in a medicine bottle, and it sort of tastes like you can still taste like they've just reused the medicine bottle, and you can still sort of taste some of the medicine in there, which is great because medicine tastes good. It doesn't taste like any other energy drink I've ever had in my mouth. But it's nice. It's confusion aside, it's really, really smooth. The immediate criticism is that it is very sugary. Like, you can taste that this is not good for you. 26 grams of like sugar in this. Right, on your beginning taste, you've got this a very slight like taste of Red Bull, very slight, as if, you know when you do work in school and you've got to write the date on the top and then the work starts, the date that you write on the top is that Red Bull taste, and then boom, it's gone. It's there, literally it's the first thing you taste, but then boom, it's gone before you even, it doesn't even count as part of the work, it's just there, you know? And then you get this very immediate taste of Parma Violets, which is it sort of knocks you off your feet. And then I think the idea is that when you're tasting it with that sort of appreciation of, wow, that's Parma Violets, I don't think you're meant to notice the fact that there's a very sugary syrup like sort of there, because you're thinking about that first taste. But in actual fact, it is inescapable that this is a very fucking sugary, syrupy, sickly drink. But they've mixed it with this really interesting flavour that you almost don't mind it. And then right at the end, you've also got another sort of taste of Red Bull. The Red Bull in this is essentially the beginning and the end, so it's sort of like the equivalent to if you were writing a letter, the Red Bull is your address on the top side of the letter and your signature on the bottom. So it's part of the paper, but it's not necessarily part of the letter, if that makes sense. I tell you what killed this bison, diabetes from fucking drinking this drink. What's his blood sugar levels like? It's in the red bison. What else is interesting in this is that it doesn't really have an aftertaste, so it's quite easy to drink. Like right now, I'm pretty much through this small bottle, and I've liked it because there's that much sugar in it that it's sort of hard to not go, oh, this is really sweet tasting, and sort of want more with it. It's such a small bottle that you sort of think, oh well, you know, it'll be gone sooner rather than later. The fact that it's flat usually works out as a negative to me on energy drinks, but the fact that this is flat actually really works in its favour. If this was carbonated, I think it would feel completely weird, like the weight of the syrup would just counteract the lightness of the bubbles, and you'd just get this real sort of ambiguous texture to it which would not feel right in your mouth. But the fact that this is so smooth just complements the syrupy taste. This feels like something which is made in a different country, you know, without sounding countryist. It's got a little bird on the buffalo's head as well. Don't ever drink this. If you see this, convince a friend to buy it and just have a sip. It's a nice flavour, but don't drink a whole bottle. There's something not right about this. See what I mean? I mean, look at that. Consistency of like a watered down egg yolk. Carabao Dang is sort of like cliff jumping. It's enjoyable enough, but you know there's a risk, and if you do it too much, there's a good chance that you're gonna die. It feels like you're playing with fate to me, drinking it. Check that shit out. Subscribe button. Fucking dickheads. Hang on. Leave comments as well. I should have wrote comments on the other side, shouldn't I? Imagine comments is on the other side. Subscribe, yeah? Comments. Fucking ejaculate penis. Quality channel.